What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We've got another Thursday night NBA slate, and man, it feels good to say that. We have OKC taking on the Pacers in Indiana, a rematch of the finals, but also not so much a rematch of the finals, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. We have the Nuggets taking on Golden State in Golden State, so Golden State second game already. I'm going to go over four of my favorite props for this game. I think there's a couple of these we get some really good value with. And we're going to talk about who I think is going to win these games as well. But that being said, guys, yesterday's winner of free VIP was chosen in our NFL video. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, last night I posted an NFL video for tonight's game, Vikings versus the Chargers. I did pick the winner from the NBA video from yesterday to win free VIP in that one. So what I'm going to say is if this video gets 250 likes, as well as the NFL video gets 250 likes, then I'm going to be picking two winners to win free VIP, which is $25 value. So in tomorrow's video for NBA, you guys will find a winner from both videos, which obviously you have double the chances if you guys want to do that. So get 250 likes on this video, drop a comment, and then make sure you guys are subscribed, and you'll have a chance at winning free VIP in tomorrow's video. Not once, but twice. That being said, guys, last night, historic night, great night. I'm going to be honest, dude. Like, straight up, there's some people in the Discord complaining about, like, because the first slip missed. And we had a couple of slips on parlay play missed. This is one of them. This is a bad beat of the day. I had Giannis and Wembanyama to get double-doubles. That was cashed. And then I had Cooper Flag, which was a boosted play on parlay play. So this was a promo pick. The only reason I played Cooper Flag is because he was a promo. And, of course, Cooper Flag sold this. A bad beat of the night, 20 point, or he ended with 20 PRA. That chalked that slip. And the other one that chalked, Vucevic and Bam. And this is directly from the free picks. And if you watch the NFL video, the game was going on. There was 5 minutes in the fourth. Bam just comes back from getting off the bench in the fourth. 5 minutes left. He has 28 PRA. I need Bam to give us 2 PRA in 5 minutes. What does he do in a close tied game? He gives us 1 and chalks us by 0.5, which sold the sweep on the free picks. So we would have cashed both free pick slips yesterday if Bam would have gave us 1 more PRA. It's unlucky. It happens, but it is what it is. So that being said, those are our bad beats of the day. Take a look at some of our winners. So Banchero, Bam, and Morant obviously cashed us. I played this. Now, I took Toronto money line. I even called this in yesterday's video for plus 200 odds. So if you guys listen to that, I told you guys Raptors were going to beat the Hawks. I fully believed it. I didn't put much on. I put half a unit. $50 is literally all I put on that. I don't know why it taxed me 32 cents off my $50 entry, but it did. And it paid out 138. Now, I wanted to put 150 on this. And my Discord had me a little bit second-guessing myself because they were all like, nah, man, Hawks are going to win. So instead of putting 150 on it, I just put 50, and I should have put my 150 on it. They had me second-guessing myself. It happens. I mean, the Hawks definitely could have won, so no hard feelings or anything. I did give this for free yesterday. Zion and Donovan Mitchell points. This was directly from the free picks. 251 was 522. Let's take a look at some of these other slips, though, guys. We had a second-half slip. Walker Kessler with Zubac. They both had I think Kessler had, 15 points or 14 points in the first half, and then Zubac had 13 points in the first half, and they put these lines up. And the reason the lines were so low is because they were getting beat by 30 points at halftime, so they thought that Zubac wouldn't play much, and Zubac barely cashed us, but he cashed us on that second half slip. We almost swept Sleeper. Sleeper gave us like 10 promos yesterday, and we cashed pretty much every single one of them. These 3 cashed. I'm not going to go through every player. We cashed these 2 on Prizepicks. It's the same slip. I'll say what happened is Drew Holiday ended up getting bumped down for second half, so I played it twice. Both these got bumped down, so we doubled down on it. $100 to win 300. Cashed 2 slips there. Nice little 50% profit boost, a double up over here on Underdog as well. You can $50 max play. Cashed it. Cashed Giannis, Anthony Edwards, Cade Cunningham, 250 to win 490. Another sleeper slip cash. Took the Knicks money line last night, put 250 on them. Another cash, another sleeper cash, and then another Underdog cash. So yesterday was really, really good. I'm hoping we can continue that with NBA. It's 2 good NBA slates so far. So far, NBA has been insanely good. So let's hope it continues to stay that way. I am going to say, if you guys do want to join our Discord, the Discord's free to join. You can get an extra slip every week by joining the Discord for free. But if you want to get all my plays, you go through VIP. So there's an elite membership and there's a regular VIP membership. Link for both of those is down in the description. Just click the WAP and you select the membership that you want. The elite membership gives you the same amount of picks as the regular membership. It just comes with a more one-on-one approach where you can ask personalized questions for your bankroll and things like that, and you'll definitely get answered. If you need help with slips or anything, you can drop them into the elite chat, and they'll get answered a lot quicker than they will in VIP, because VIP just has a lot more members and it's a less one-on-one approach. But that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into these games and talk about these. So the first thing I want to say is, if you guys aren't keeping up with the news headlines, Terry Rozier or Rozier, however you want to say his name. I call him Rozier, and people used to give me crap for calling him Rozier, but I'm going to continue it. Whatever. Our man TR got arrested for, I'm pretty sure, illegal gambling. So I didn't read the full article. I just saw headlines. I'm pretty sure Rozier got caught, telling people to take his under, and they were making money off of him. And I want to say that I called this last year in the NBA when the season first started, because Rozier was averaging 24 and 25 PRA per game. He looked hot. I was playing him every single game, and he was cashing me. And then all of a sudden, the dude starts getting 10 and 12 PRA. Just randomly stops getting PRA, starts chalking every single line he has. And I even said it in the Discord. It's been a while, but I feel like Rozier's throwing on purpose. It's like he gets that momentum to build up build his PRA line higher, and then he just doesn't have to try, and it makes it less obvious because he played so well that his PRA line goes through the roof, and then he stops playing well, or he doesn't have to even try to go under because he just doesn't play extremely well, and he still goes under. And it just seemed obvious to me. There's a lot of times I saw Rozier standing there not doing anything, and it would tilt me. But anyways, that's beyond the fact. This is going to happen in sports. It's going to happen in every single sport, and there's going to be a lot of them we don't find out about. So just know that that's part of the game. It is what it is. Hopefully Rozier getting arrested kind of brings other people away from it and not makes them not want to do it, but probably not. That being said, let's talk about these two games, guys. So the first one we have is going to be OKC taking on the Pacers. We already talked about it. It's the finals rematch for the most part. Right now, the Pacers are plus 270 underdogs at home. They're plus 7.5 on the spread, and then the total sitting at 232.5. Remember, the Pacers are one of the fastest pace teams in the league. Pacers and pace go together. Let's remember that. So these games usually are pretty high scoring versus the Pacers, especially when you have a decent offense like OKC, or a good offense, to say that. 54% of the money right now is on OKC money line. 63% of the money is on OKC to cover the spread, and then 79% of the money right now is taking OKC, or taking the total on this game to go over. Now, these teams, man, let's talk about them playing last year. So they played lots of games last year if you count in the playoffs as well. Pacers won 33% of them. Pacers took it to Game 7, obviously, in the finals. Close series, and ended up getting beat. Now, the biggest thing about this Pacers team is they're missing Halliburton now. So you got to come over here and look at these injuries. So looking at OKC, they don't have Caruso tonight. Dort is game time decision. They're still missing Isaiah Joe. Casey Wallace is game time decision, and then Jalen Williams is still out. So they're missing a lot of players too. Dort and Wallace will probably play, but if they don't, then it's going to make the bench for OKC a little bit tougher. If you look at the other side of things, you look at the Pacers side of things, Halliburton's out for the season, man. An Achilles tear that he did in the finals last year, it sucks. They're missing Halliburton. They're missing one of their star facilitators, star players. They're also missing TJ McConnell. McConnell stepped it up last season too. So right now they got Nembhard, Mathurin, Nesmith, Siakam, and Jackson as their starting five, which I don't think that's a bad lineup by any means. I think Siakam is going to be their star player pretty much, and I got lucky and got Siakam in fantasy as well, so I'm hoping he ends up having a good season. But this game, man, in terms of who I think is going to win, I counted the Pacers out the entire playoffs of the NBA. I thought they were going to get put out in the first round for the most part. I was not a Pacer. I was almost a Pacers hater, and it's not that I disliked the Pacers, but I just didn't believe that the Pacers could do it. So I don't want to sell the Pacers short, but I feel like OKC just beats them, man, and I'm hoping that, or not hoping, but I'm thinking maybe the Pacers come out here and get a dub at home, especially after losing the finals to OKC. We'll see what happens, but I just don't see them beating them, especially without Halliburton. So, that being said, OKC money line minus 275. Not going to put any money on it. I don't trust them to cover a 7.5 spread, and I don't trust a 232 total because that's pretty high, especially if the Pacers end up getting blown out. So that being said, I'm going with OKC money line. If you like the Pacers, take the Pacers. You guys know how it is with the Pacers and me. I can't get the Pacers right. Every time I bet against the Pacers, they end up winning. So this is a good chance for you guys to get the Pacers at plus 270 if you want to just take the Pacers because I say they lose. So maybe they do win just because I say they lose. Who knows? But Pacers, I'm going to go with OKC in this game, and that's just what I like. So anyways, jumping into game 2, we got Nuggets. First game for the Nuggets versus Golden State. Golden State coming off a win versus the Lakers. Golden State is minus 117 at home right now, minus 2.5 on the spread, and the total in this game sitting at 234.5. So a pretty fast-paced game here as well. Right now, 71% of the money is on the Nuggets, 73% of the money on the Nuggets to cover the spread, and then 50% of the money, so a dead even split on over and under on this total, which that's a high total for these two teams in my opinion. The Nuggets usually play a pretty fast-paced team, so do the Golden State, so I can understand the total being high, but 234 is a little bit higher than I was expecting. I didn't think this total would be higher than the Pacers game, but it is. I'm looking at these two teams last season that played. Nuggets won 2 of 3 games when they played. Golden State ended up winning the last game, but the first 2 games of the series, Nuggets ended up winning. They beat them 119 to 115 in game 1, then 114 to 105. So it was honestly pretty close games, except for the final game where they got beat by 14. So should be a competitive game. Looking at this so far this season, we know the Warriors just beat the Lakers 119 to 109, so a 10-point victory. Looking at the lineup for the Nuggets, no injuries on the Nuggets side of things. You got Jamal Murray, you got Brown, Johnson, Gordon, and Jokic starting, and then obviously the same starting 5 for Golden State. If you look at Golden State, Melton's out, Moody's out, and then Alex is out, and they don't have any no game time decision right now for Butler or Kuminga, so they should be good to go. Got Curry, our man Pods, Butler, Kuminga, and Draymond Green, which is honestly a pretty good lineup. For me, talking about these two teams in terms of a game that I think is going to win, I like Nuggets at plus 117 just because it's a plus money play for a team that I think has a good chance at winning. I think both these teams are pretty even. I don't think this is going to be a dominant game from either team, and I think this one could go either way. Now, Golden State's definitely going to have the advantage at home, but for plus 117 odds, I'd probably just run the Nuggets. That's just my personal opinion on this one. I don't like the spread, a 2.5-point spread on an NBA. I hate that. I hate that number, man. 2.5 on NBA. It just even in NFL, 2.5 obviously doesn't even cover a field goal. So for me, at 2.5, you might as well just take money line. That's the way I feel. And you do get a lot of games that are 1-2-point games. Don't get me wrong, but I just hate that because then it's a tie game and Curry just drops a 3 at the end and covers the spread, and it annoys me. So I don't ever touch 2.5s on NBA. Nuggets plus 117. I'm probably going to run that. If I had to take a total, I'd probably go under 234. Let's take a look, actually. Let's look at the games from last season. So, yeah, the game went under every single game they played last season went under. This one was 234 on the dot. So at 234.5, you cash 219, 222. So for me, I'd run the under. I don't trust the over on this, so under 234.5 on the total if you wanted to play that. It could definitely go over if they have a lights-out game like a lot of these NBA teams had. You saw Charlotte with 80 points at halftime last night, like crazy. So lots of things you can do on this. For me, it's Nuggets or under total, and then for this one, it's just OKC money line. I'm not going to touch anything else on the OKC game just because I don't trust that game. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some player props, guys. So I've got 4 picks. I got 1 player from each team that I like, and we're going to try to get some value here. I got 1 play that I think we're getting some really, really good value that we'll talk about here. It's actually going to be the last play. So if you guys want to get that play, get it at the end. It's going to be a regular line. It's actually a positive EV. If you play it on certain platforms, you can get some really good value on it, and it is it's a play that, like I said, I think should be higher, which we'll talk about here in just a second. All right, so jumping into the first pick of the day, it's going to be for our man Nikola Jokic. So, Joker, obviously, one of the best players in the NBA. If you couldn't get him in fantasy, it sucks for you because he's probably going to drop 50 PRA in majority of games he plays this season. Now, he's got a tough matchup versus Golden State. Golden State, I feel like Jokic is going to turn up for. So there's a couple of plays that I like for Jokic. The first one is going to be a boost that you get in a parlay play. So before we jump into these plays, I want to go ahead and say this, guys. If you want to get a free month of our VIP, you can get 7 free months by signing up to the partnered apps down in the description. We have parlay play, we have underdog, sleeper, chalkboard, Better, Novig, and Dabble. Any of those 7 apps get you a free month of our VIP. The ones I'm pushing right now, the one you see me play in the video is going to be Parlay Play. I lock in slips live on Parlay Play because they give a lot of good boosts, man. I know Cooper Flag chalked us last night, but every other boost pretty much cashed. And if you look right here, Nikola Jokic, 44.5 PRA is the boosted line right now, which I honestly like. You get a 1.46x for our man Jokic to go over that. I like Jokic for PRA here. Then I like Jokic for rebounds. So I like Jokic up to 10.5 rebounds, which is another 1.53x. So you can pick the one that you want. I like his PRA better than his rebounds at 10.5. Personally, it's a very close payout. If I had to pick one, probably take PRA because I don't know, man. That's kind of a toss-up. Jokic can drop 15 boards pretty easy. It can happen. But let's go ahead and pull Jokic up. Let's take a look at him versus this Golden State team and see how he performed last season. So if we get Jokic at 44.5 PRA, last season he cashed this line 74% of games, averaging 51.62 PRA on the season. He's going against a team that gives up a decent amount of stats. Depends on what you're looking at. They don't give up many points to the center position. They give up a ton of rebounds, 13 rebounds per game. Then they don't give up many assists. It's kind of middle of the pack, giving up almost 4 assists per game. Jokic is a guy who can get a double-double at any point in time. They do have a full healthy team. You got to remember that as well. Head-to-head, Jokic cashed this line in both games that he played versus Golden State last season. So one game he didn't play, and then he had 54 PRA on the dot in both of those. And if you look at what he ended up having, he dropped over 30 points, almost 40 points in the first game he played. They had over 10 or more rebounds in both games. Then he had 9 assists in one game, 6 assists in the other. So Jokic can turn up doing whatever. We're going to take a look at his rebounds really quick, and we're going to put this line to 10.5. So if you look at Jokic at 10.5 rebounds last season, he cashed it 65% of the games, going against the team that gives up a lot of rebounds. And then head-to-head data, he had 10 and he had 12 in his 2 games versus Golden State last season, with his rebound chances being averaging around 15.5. So I think Jokic could cash either of those lines. I think either line's good. For me, I'm going to lock in the Parlay Play boost just because it's a boosted play, and I'll give you guys that free square because I'm kind of leaning this. If he has another 30-point game, he gets 15 PRA or 15 rebounds and assists easy, in my opinion. But if he can drop 30 points, the problem with this is if he doesn't have a good scoring game, then he definitely chalks. He's not going to give us 30 RA most likely. So this one, you're relying on him getting a lot of points, which he should, let's be honest. But like Jokic in this matchup, 44.5 PRA. We can come over here to Props Madness, and we can take a look at this team, and we can find out where they allow the most points and then where Jokic scores the most points from. So taking a look at the scoring chart here, Jokic shoots 35% of his shots under the rim, and he's going against the number 1 defense under the rim. That being said, if you look at him in the paint, he shoots another 33% from in the paint and 28th, going against the 28th defense there. So one of the worst defenses just in the paint. Shoots 7% mid-range, and then he shoots a whopping 25% from behind the arc, where he has kind of a mid matchup everywhere else. So you can kind of cancel these two out, make it yellow. You can say he has kind of just an orange matchup from behind the three-point line, then a yellow matchup here. So everything pretty much even. It's Joker, though. Like, this isn't your regular center. Like, it's Jokic, man. Jokic is going to turn up, and I feel very confident that he catches us out on these props. So that's going to be pick number 1. Jumping into our second pick of the day, it's going to be for our man Pascal Siakam. So I like our man Siakam. Told you guys, I think he's going to be the go-to guy for the Pacers. I think that there's a couple of other players that could end up having good games. I think our man Mathurin could have good games. I think Nembhard. See, between these three, man, it makes it hard on which one I think is going to turn up because they all randomly just turn up. Like, in random games, one of them will drop 30 points. And so I'm taking Siakam. He's the most consistent, I think, that's going to be for this lineup. And I like his points line. So you can get him at 19.5 points right now as his oregano, his original line. If you want to lock it in at 19.5 right now, it's boosted on Parlay Play as well for a 1.92x. We come over here to Prizepicks. We're going to hit NBA. We're going to go to points. We're going to find our man Pascal Siakam. And I know people are going to make fun of the way I say that. So 19.5 points, you can get him. You can buy him down if you want. Obviously, Siakam at 15 points is going to be, it's not a lock, but he should get 15 points for sure. Now, I like him to get 18 a lot as well. I like this 18 line. That extra 2 points sometimes can be the difference in you cashing. So I like the 17.5. If I was going to play his original line, I'd just play it on Parlay Play because you get a 1.9x. Like, there's no point in playing this on Prizepicks at this line. If you're going to play Prizepicks, you can take the 17.5 probably and see what the payout is for that. So let's go to PRA here. We're going to find our man Nikola Jokic. So let's find Joker. We're going to get him at, we'll see what 40 PRA pays on this. So 1.6x. If you get him at 46 PRA, it's a 2.25x. You could do that. You can do it. This is tough, man. Let's check rebounds for Joker on here. I haven't checked the prize picks for lines because I've locked in some sleeper lines and I've locked in some parlay plays. So Joker can you get him at 10.5? 10.5 boards for Joker, it's a 2.25x. So you can do this and you get a nice little payout with Joker at 10.5 boards with Siakam if you want to play it that way. And then you could play, these are two boosts, so I can't play them together. So I couldn't play the exact slip I wanted to. But what I'm getting at is if I was going to play his original line, I'd just play his original line on parlay play because it's a better payout. That's all I'm saying. You get a 1.9x. There's no point in not playing that one here. If you want to play it on both sites, you can. You can do whatever you want. I mean, this is your account. Play it how you want, but I think that would be the best move. I'm not saying this slip's better. I like Jokic Joker to give us PRA a little bit more. What's 9.5 pay? I'm scared Joker's going to end up with 10 boards on the dot, and he's going to end up cash. That's a double up too, man. 9.5 boards for a double. I like this slip a lot. That's a good slip, man. Joker, yeah. This is a really good slip in my opinion. This is probably what I lock in on Prizepicks. I know it's a double up, but if you want to take him at 10.5, I like 10.5 as well, but 9.5 on this slip is going to be really good. I'm probably just going to lock. Here's what I'm going to do. We'll see what the payout is right here at 9.5 boards for our man Joker. So this is a 1.8x on parlay play. So you get way better value on Prizepicks for this slip. This is a good slip on Prizepicks. This is where you need to go if you want to play this slip unless underdog or something has a better line. So yeah, we're gonna fade this here. I'm not gonna lock this in live because the payout's worse. We'll do Joker, and then I'm just gonna do like what's 14.5 pay? This is a 1.7x. 17.5 pays us a 2.13x. So I might lock that in live. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to do. I already have Siakam for 15 points, so I don't want to double down on him or play too much on him because it is Siakam. Siakam can sometimes have an off game, but I think he gives us the points. I think 19.5 is an okay line. Looking at him last season, he cashed at 52% of games. If we can go to games without Tyrese, he cashed it 4 of 6 games with no Halliburton, and he averaged 21.5 points. You see a lot of these games, he's getting mid-20s, high 20s, some game mid-35s. Some of these other games, he didn't do anything. He played 35 minutes this game versus the Nets and dropped 6 points, so obviously he can have his bad games. Also, if you take out McConnell, there's no games with both of those out. With just McConnell out, he cashed 1 of 3 games. So definitely going to get his opportunities with both those players missing. Siakam, I think, has a great game. So that being said, let's go ahead and pull this up on Props Madness. Take a look at the scoring charts versus OKC. OKC does not give up a lot of stats. You can just look at their defense. Second-ranked defense under the rim, second-ranked defense from behind the arc, 10th and 12th. No, they're just going to play a good defense no matter where the player shoots. Unless they're shooting from, like, corner threes, you're not gonna get a good matchup here. So this doesn't bother me, but I'm just letting you guys see that it is a tough matchup for him. It's not a guaranteed prop, especially at 20 points, but I do think he gets it for us. So Siakam is pick number 2. Jumping into our third play of the day, we're jumping back to our boy Jimmy Butler, man. Butler had a phenomenal first game, dropped 31 points. I like Butler again on this one for 17.5 points. You can get Butler at 17.5. He cashed this line his first game very, very easily. It's a good matchup versus the Nuggets. If you look at the Nuggets, I want to take a look at their points allowed. They give up 24th in the league. This is from last season, obviously. Points allowed on 117 points per game. If you go to the small forward, it's 20th, so bottom 10 defense versus power forward, it is top 10. So to the forward position overall, if you were to average these out, it's around 14th, so middle of the pack. To center position, they give up 22. Obviously, there's no game time decision or anything for Kuminga, Butler, or Curry, anything like that, so we ain't got to worry about that. Butler cashed this line 54% of games last season, averaging 18 points per game, and he averaged 11.5 field goal attempts. Now, Butler coming off a really good game his last game. They ended up beating the Lakers. I could see Butler stepping it up for this game. Head-to-head data versus the Nuggets. He cashed this line 3 straight, so 3 of his last 4 versus the Nuggets, he cashed this, and he was with Golden State with 2 of those. The first 2 games he was still playing for Miami. Obviously, he gets traded over, and look at the 2 games he played, 23 and 19 in those 2 games with 16 field goal attempts and 13 field goal attempts in those 2 games respectively. So I think Butler has another good game. I think you can take his PRA. I think you can take his points. You can do it however you want. I like him to cash this prop for us, though. Jimmy Butler, 17.5. I'll lock this in with Siakam. What does that give us? A 3X? I'll risk that. I'll risk 250 on this one. I'll do that. I think that's the way I'm going to play these. And then I'll play the next one with Jokic. So we'll lock this in. It's $250 to win $752. Track picks. And obviously you have a pick from yesterday that we locked in on the NFL play. And then we have Siakam and Butler right here locked in. So hopefully that does cash us out. So for the next slip, we'll already have our Joker picked up, and then we're going to talk about, before I do that, before I get carried away, let's go ahead and talk about the scoring chart for Butler. So Butler versus Denver. So Denver has a weak defense pretty much across the board, specifically in the paint and then in that corner 3 spot. They drop a lot of points from there. If you look at under the rim and then everything else, it's pretty much middle of the pack. So Butler shoots 20% from 20% from in the paint, and then he shoots 4% from the corner 3. So it doesn't. That's not his strong point, but if you look under the rim, 53% against almost a bottom 10 defense under the rim, he's got a good matchup. This looks good to me. If you see all yellow and a little bit of green, it's good. If you see all orange and some red, that's when it gets a little bit sketchy, but this is what a good scoring chart looks like for a player. Now, if it would be even better, obviously, if Butler had like 50% of his shots from in the paint here and then like 20% from a corner 3, that'd be as good as it gets, but, I mean, realistically, you can't expect that. But I like this matchup, like for Jimmy Butler, and I'm going to be locking him in. So, last play of the day. It's going to be the one I was talking about. I think we're getting some good value, and it's going to be for our man iHart. So we're taking Isaiah Hartenstein for OKC, the center, and we're going to take him to give us 10 rebounds. Now, why do I think this prop is good? So look at Hartenstein from last season. I want you to look at him from the beginning of the season. Dominated this line. He cashed at 53%. Look at him at the end of the season. Barely ever went over this line. He went under his last game, or his first game of the season. He had 8 versus Houston. Look how many minutes he played versus Houston. He played 37 minutes. He did not board very well. If you look at the Pacers' rebound defense, they give up a lot of boards. 45th at the bottom 10 defense in terms of rebounds allowed. To the center position, it goes all the way up. 25th in terms of rebounds allowed. So one of the worst defenses in the league in terms of giving up rebounds. So why do I like this play? Hartenstein, you can see his minutes. Averaging over 30 minutes per game pretty much when he's dominating this. Towards the end of the season, he starts splitting minutes. And without Isaiah Joe, without Jalen Williams, without a lot of these players, it's increasing the usage for our man Hartenstein a ton. So we're going to filter this to 30 minutes, just 30 minutes. He played 37 minutes last game in double overtime. So we're going to filter it just to 30 minutes. If our man Hartenstein, we'll put 29 minutes. If he plays 29 minutes, he has cashed this line in 84% of his games last season with just getting the minutes, averaging 12 rebounds per game. Some of these games getting close to 20. This is a matchup where I think our man Hartenstein can shine versus the Pacers. I really do. Fast-paced game. Could be a lot of missed shots here, especially if the Pacers are off a little bit. And I think this is going to be his chance. So if you look at him, his only game versus the Pacers, he played 29 minutes. He had 13 boards. Now, if you look at him across the season last year, he went under. He had 1 of 9. But look at his minutes. 20 minutes per game. Dude was not playing big minutes versus the Pacers, and he was hooking this line. 9, 8, 8, 9. This all determines on the minutes Hartenstein gets, in my opinion. If Hartenstein gets less than 25 minutes, he probably chalks. If he gets 25 to 30, he probably goes over. And you got this minus 103 odds right now if you wanted to straight bet it on Profit X. This is a good line, in my opinion. So let's pull up Hartenstein. He should be here on I don't even think I have to filter. It's already on here. So 9.5 boards, yes, his original line on here. Come over here. Hartenstein. Rebounds, 9.5 to 1.86x. So this does give you a 2.7x. If I wanted to play a little bit safer, take him at 8.5, and this still gives you a 2.18x if you wanted to play it that way. Playing it with a discounted line, I'll probably end up just doing that. What's the payout for 7.5? I know you guys are going to hate me. Well, you're buying it down, but you like 9.5. I'm still going to play 9.5 somewhere. Don't get me wrong. But if I'm going to play it with a boosted play like this, then I'll buy both of them down. As long as I see more than a 2x, I'm happy. Now, 9.5. We could risk it here, get a 2.7x. 250 is going to win us, $680. 680 goes down to 540 just from one more rebound. So we'll risk it at 9.5. That's what I'm going to play. We're going to lock it in, 680. Hopefully this cashes us out. So those are our 2 slips for today. We got Pascal Siakam, Jimmy Butler, 250 to win 752, a nice little 3x. And then we have Hartenstein with Jokic, 250 to win 680. So on these 2 slips, you got 500 to win a total of $1,432, which is a nice little dub. So lock them in if you like them, guys. Fade them if you don't. That is going to be NBA picks for today. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning. We'll have some more NBA. Might do some college football for Saturday. I don't know if I'm going to do a college football video or not. I will be doing NFL and NBA videos on the days that there's both. So Sunday you'll have NBA and you'll have NFL. So NFL will probably be released the night before. So Saturday evening you'll have an NFL video for NFL Sunday. And then, maybe have to do NBA starts early too on Sunday. So We'll see. We'll see. I got to figure out how I want to set up these videos. I don't like posting two at the exact same time because it just kind of ruins the views for both of them. But that's what you had to look forward to, guys. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Join the Discord if you haven't already. It is free, and if you want to get all of our plays, you know where to go. The WAP link down in the description. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.